So we're getting ready to do dialysis. And Todd's putting the machine together. First he's got to hook up all these cords and put them in certain spots, or the machine will go crazy and it won't work. Right, Jonathan?
Yes.
And then he won't get the full treatment he needs if he doesn't set it up correctly, right?
He has blood in his body.
Yeah.
The cord thingy will suck all his blood like a vampire in the machine.
Yeah. Now he's putting saline.
And now there's a dog right there. I mean, a sack boy right there. Okay. Put the camera. I want them to see it.
Yeah, and the jugs are from all these boxes that we usually have piled up even more. But one is...
One is a machine.
Naturally, and one
is a bottle. One is a mom.
Bicarb. And they both circulate through the machine. And I gotta put that knife away. We were just opening boxes and putting them away. So now he's testing the bicarb to make sure that it's at the right levels. Because if it goes through his blood and it's not at the right levels, it could really hurt him. Put in this little tester. Just doing the rinse. And that's good. And then he has to input the numbers into the machine and make sure those are good. And this is testing the bleach. Which one's this one?
This is testing the pH.
No, the pH levels, which are you did it really fast. And Todd's not feeling good today. His back's hurting. So now we gotta wait on the prime in progress. Yeah.
And brings the saline down. It goes through the lines and through the kidney. And it goes into this reservoir here. And we have to wait till that reservoir fills up.
That reservoir fill up. That's the acting as Todd's kidney. They call it the fake kidney.
See how the water's coming up now? Going through the lines right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going through that line.
Watch, it'll start pouring into this reservoir. Nice. Just filling it up.
So, yep. Getting the machine together is a lot of hard work. We gotta fill both these jugs up. One's bicarb and one's acid. And it has to, that's what cleans his blood. Goes through his blood to clean his blood. So now he's inputting the numbers that he just tested in the machine to make sure they're right. They have to be at certain levels. So now he's got to get all the air out of the hose. Once the saline goes through it, now he's got to push all the air out of the hose. And that's going to circulate. So he pushes that up. It's about a 45-minute process total to get this whole thing ready. And that doesn't count if we have to bleach the machine first. You have to bleach the machine every other day to make sure it's clean, right?
Once a week.
Oh, once a week. Oh, when we bleach the machine, well, sometimes if we skip.
If you skip 48 hours, you gotta bleach it, and then you're supposed to bleach it once a week too.
Yeah. So.
This bacteria starts setting in after 48 hours.
So then we have to bleach the machine.
It's kind of weird because it's got acid, you know. I don't see how bacteria could survive an acid.
Yeah. They just want to be extra cautious because the stuff is going in your blood. So that's why they make us bleach it. So, but if we have to...
This is what happens. My blood comes through this hose. It goes directly down the dialysis. It comes out this hose, okay? And it comes in through here and it comes back into me. So the kidney, all this white stuff right here, this kind of helps filter the blood. Pulls out stuff that's not supposed to be in there. If you have, you know, minor clots or something like that. These things, the acid and the bicarb, mix together inside the machine. Okay, and they mix together, and then they come out this hose right here. All right, and this hose will fill this dialyzer up on the outside of the white mesh in here. Okay, so it'll come out here and fill up the west side. And then it comes out this hose and goes into the drain line over there. Alright? What happens is it fills it up and it goes this way. It goes up. My blood comes in and goes down. So it's like this. And what happens is that friction of the two that meet pulls the fluid, the water, out of the blood. And it sucks it out, this thing right here.
This big machine is...
Why are you recording blood things?
We're talking about how the dialysis machine works and how the blood circulates.
Daddy, when we don't go to
And then this is
Easter
the part of the water machine. That's
egg, when
what
are we
keeps
gonna go to the Easter egg?
the water clean.
Or Disney.
This is an everyday normal thing for Jonathan. He's just like, whatever. It's an everyday normal thing for Jonathan, huh? You're
See the
silly.
bubbles? See all the air in there?
Yeah.
Watch. So it gets a lot of that air out. And the air comes in here, and this thing sucks it out. Sucks all the air out.
We have this article on the wall talking about an artificial kidney hopes to those who are tethered to dialysis machines. So one day, saying at 2017, hoping they'll have an artificial kidney to prevent being stuck on this dialysis machine where you can't go anywhere for like 4 hours. So that's the hope.
Some people can't go anywhere for 8 hours.
Yeah. Todd used to be at 6 hours stuck on the machine, but now it's down to 4 because he doesn't drink as much fluid as he used to, so that's good. It's not as long as it was. He's trying to bang out all the air in the machine, make sure there's no air. Because if any air gets in this machine and gets to him, it can automatically stop his heart. Right? And then what they said? The
Too,
air.
Too much, not like little bubbles. But if you get enough air, yeah, it can cause your heart to burn up.
Oh.
So your heart acts as the power of your body, and it also acts like a radiator. The blood goes through, and the blood is like the radiator fluid, and it keeps the heart from getting too hot because the heart is constantly going. And what happens is if you let air get into, like, if I had like this much air right there, just that much in this line right here, which would probably be 1 cc of air or 2 cc's of air and whatnot, because now that'd probably be about 8 cc's because this whole line is 100 cc's. And when the blood comes in, now you got an air pocket in your vein, and it comes up. Once it gets to your heart immediately, the temperature of your heart shoots up, because it's kind of like if you flex your muscle and you just keep it flexed and don't stop. Eventually, you start sweating and stuff because your body naturally is trying to cool off your muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your body, but your muscle. And your muscle itself will start getting really hot. But these muscles ain't nowhere near as strong as your heart muscle. Your heart muscle beats for 100 years nonstop. It's constantly flexing.
It's the strongest muscle in the body?
I would think so. It's the only muscle in the body that continues to work and work and work and work, other than the diaphragm underneath your lungs that cause you to breathe.
So why do you need your kidneys? What's the purpose of them?
What?
What's the purpose of your kidneys? Like, why do you need them?
Filters your blood. It takes a lot of stuff. It takes a lot of stuff out, like potassium, phosphorus. It helps equivalent the calcium, all your vitamins, your nutrients, everything that gets in your blood, your iron, all that stuff. It helps regulate all that stuff, and in the process of doing that, it also cleans your blood. Anything that's bad. For example, see, when you pee, your kidneys clean your blood and pulls all the bad fluid out. It pulls all the fluid out, and when you drink stuff, it doesn't pull every bit of fluid out of your body, obviously, because you sweat some, but it pulls out a lot of it, and in that, it dumps all the bad vitamins, all the trash and stuff that's in your blood, and so your kidneys are constantly filtering your blood. They ain't on like 8 hours a day and then off 16. No, they're on 100%, 24 hours a day, filtering your blood. This thing right here, the only time it only filters my blood when I'm on this machine, so 4 hours. So I'm only filtering my blood for 4 hours a day. So every day, I don't know if any of you know what sepsis is. Sepsis is where you get bacteria and trash and everything else, just bad stuff in your blood, and you could die from it. Well, I guess you could say every single day I'm sepsis, because this cleans my blood for 4 hours, and as soon as I get off, there's still trash in my blood, and it starts building up and building up and building up. And after about 2 days, I start really feeling it, and I start feeling sluggish and sick, and just sick to my stomach and stuff like that. So, really weak. So I only get my blood clean 4 hours a day, and that's every other day, not every day.
Every other day. Because if we stuck him with those needles every day, his arm would be hamburger meat. be hard to
Now,
go
I
with.
weighed earlier, and I have about 4 kilos of fluid on, which is about 8.8 pounds. And I'm gonna run for 4 hours today. So I'm taking 4 kilos, and I'm gonna run for 4 hours. That means it's gonna take a kilo off an hour. That means I'm gonna lose 2.2 pounds of fluid every hour while I'm on this machine. This is the stuff. This is how much I'm taking off. This is how long I'm running. This is how much it's taking off an hour. This is the dialysate flow. How much of this is rolling through the machine at a time. This is the temperature of the machine. And the temperature right now is 37 degrees because heat breeds bacteria. So they want to keep the temperature low. So it's kind of like a refrigerator thing in here to keep it from breeding bacteria. So anything above 40 degrees starts breeding bacteria, so they want to keep it under 40. So right now it's at 37. The conductivity is 14.1, and that's where it mixes these two together. And there's a rate between 13.7 and 14.3 that I can keep the conductivity that when these mix. What that means is these are perfectly mixed. If there's too much bicarb or too much acid, it'll cause that thing right there to either jump up really high or jump down really low, and the machine will go crazy, and then I can't dialyze. I got to do something to fix it because that can really hurt me. So, yeah.
Now we got to do heparin too, because if we don't do the heparin,
A clot.
then his blood gets so thick it clots. So we put that in there, and that flows through. And this right here, and that will flow through the machine to keep his blood thin, so it doesn't clot. So, and then we're gonna get the then we gotta draw labs today, because every month we have to draw labs. I gotta do these, and I put all these, take this, from his blood, these vials, and we put them through this mixer right here. They have to spin to make sure that it mixes blood right, and then I'll bring it to the actual dialysis clinic tomorrow, and they'll test it and make sure his blood's right. So, and then he's getting ready to soak his arm and getting all the needles ready. So we're going to do that today. Labs.
You see, I always keep a knife in my drawer. It's a pretty nasty looking knife. You see the teeth. But I need something in there that cut through flesh, because sometimes when I put that giant needle in there and it breaks out, I go to pull it and then it breaks out, I've got to dig it out.
Y'all, he's joking. I use that to open all these boxes that I have to put all this stuff away. I just filled this whole cabinet up with this stuff.
Oh yeah, dialysis gives you bad breath all the time, so I'm like a vampire. I got bad breath, so I have to keep these in my thing. My wife complains about my breath. It smells like dong.
And then he always weighs before he gets on the machine, which he just did a surgery back in March.
This is my scale right here.
So that's his big scale. The thing is huge. So let's see how much you weighed. You haven't weighed in a while. We gotta do a weigh-in for all these people so they can see your progress.
Look.
What is it now?
It's 339.8, and my dry weight is about 324. So I've got about 15.6 pounds on.
Oh man.
So that's all fluid. Cause see, I can't get rid of my fluid, guys.
It's 339.6.
I don't pee like you guys, so I can't. Whatever I drink stays in my body
Until we
dialyze. So I've got 15 pounds, which is probably, I don't know, about a gallon and a half, maybe.
The fluid.
Yeah, maybe 2 gallons. I don't know how much a gallon is.
So,
I know 2 kilos is a 2-liter bottle. Yeah, a 2-liter bottle is 2 kilos.
yeah.
And so,
So you
I've got
2, 4.
15 pounds That's
that's
about 7 kilos altogether. I'm only taking 4 off.
So how many 2-liter bottles you got on you then?
Probably about 3.5.
2-liter bottles? Yeah. Of
3
fluid.
3/4.
Oh, wow. You've been drinking a lot in the last 2 days, babe.
No, it's just I like to keep about anywhere from 3 to 4 kilos on me at a time, because if I try to take everything down to my dry weight, and then let's say I decide to go outside and work or something like that, I ain't got nothing to sweat, and I can have a stroke. Yeah. So I've got to have something in my body to keep me cool in case if I start sweating and stuff. So that plus it gives me leeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. We're gonna get all this stuff together. He's gonna soak, and then we'll stick the needles in his arm, and then I'll show you how that works. Take 5. Now Todd's got to soak. It's gonna What's the reason for soaking? So the arm can.
Well, you got 2 different. Well, you have a bunch of different kind of accesses. You have like anyway, you got a bunch of different things. I've got a thing called buttonholes. Okay, buttonholes is where they go into the same hole every single time that they stick you.
It's like making an earring hole.
A lot of other people, they just make a different hole every time. But if you make the same hole, let's say you stick yourself and you find 2 holes that give you really good pressures.
I made it to chapter 4.
All right, good
Why
job.
are you recording on me?
And, so you have really good treatment whenever you have really good pressures, because I'll tell you right now, and I don't know why it does this, but it does. Every time that machine stops from beeping because something goes wrong, it makes my treatment a lot harder. I can feel it at the end of my treatment. I feel like crap, and I don't know why. But I've noticed that whenever it runs constantly and never stops with any problems, your pressures never go crazy and like that, you get a better treatment and you don't feel as sluggish or as bad or anything. So that's why I like to go with buttonholes. Some doctors don't really like buttonholes, but as long as you take care of them, they're fine. I've had my same buttonholes now going on 3 years.
And he's soaking it. What's that stuff? It's basically to clean it.
It's kind of like a bleach thing. It's a wound cleanser. Okay, and it says electronically produced sodium hypochlorite. Sodium. But it smells like bleach. And it bleaches your clothes. So I guess that's what bleach is that sodium chloride.
Well, yeah, he's got to clean the buttonholes every time before we stick him with the needles.
I have to soak for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's the key. You go to the clinic and you have buttonholes. They want you to soak about 5 minutes, and then they try to get it all off and everything. And you don't get to keep those buttonholes very long because they're all jacked up. And they're trying to rush you because they got so many people coming in that they're trying to hurry up and get you on so they can get the other people on. So they rush you. You don't have the privilege of soaking 15, 20 minutes there at the clinic. Mm-hmm. When you're here at the home, at your own house, and you're doing clinic in your own house, then you're pretty much can do anything you want.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm going to soak.
We're starting at
a little late.
7:20 tonight.
So I'll probably start picking at 7:45. That'll give me about 15 minutes.
Oh, 7:20. In 15 minutes,
Well,
it'd be 7:35. Oh, okay. Well, that clock's wrong. So 7:35 he'll start. But he's talking about picking because your skin automatically tries to heal itself. So it's layering itself over the buttonhole, basically, right?
It's just scabbing over, and inside the buttonhole there's a trap. When you go through that same hole about 10 times with a sharp needle, it starts forming a thing kind of like an earring hole. Okay, but unlike an earring hole at first, the earring hole tries to start healing and all that stuff. It takes a couple of months to actually get it where earring just slides in and out really good. This right here, it will never get like an earring hole. It always tries to heal itself, but the healing process is much slower because you're constantly going through the same hole. But it does scab over like any other sore. So I soak the scabs, get them really soft, and then I pick them out, and I clean the holes really, really good with this. And then I also have alcohol pads that I use, to clean really good with. So I clean twice as good because some people just use this. Some doctors only use this to clean. Some doctors only use this to clean. I use both, so it's extra clean. Plus, I wash my arm every time before I get on dialysis with the special antibacterial soap that they send me. Has no scent to it, anything. But
that's why his buttonholes have lasted as long as they have. And every time we go to the doctor, they're always like, "They look so good," because we take such good care of them, and we don't let them get infected. And
it's your lifeline, man. You got to take care of it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, and you go ahead and switch and go and make 2 new buttonholes, well, eventually those 2 are going to heal up completely, and then it's going to start developing scar tissue. And the more you jump around, the more scar tissue you're developing, and then before you know it, you're having an issue, and then you're going to have to move your site, which means you're going to have surgery again to get another fistula, and they can't go down; they have to go up. So you'd have to get surgery here or in your shoulder or something like that.
And the fistula is what they go in and mend a vein and an artery together, so that way. The vein in the artery, it pumps your blood faster.
Yeah,
so that way it can clean your blood.
No, not clean.
Well,
what happens is you see the knot right here? Okay.
It's pumping really, really, really fast.
It feels like vibration.
Yes.
Anyone that gets a fistula, this is what it should look like once it's matured. And what happens is, let's say the artery's coming through here, right? And then I got all these other veins through here and stuff. But what they do is they take a vein, one of the big veins, these big fat ones, okay, and they mend it with the artery. Okay, now what's happening is instead of getting just the flow of the artery, now you're getting the flow and the vein, one of the big veins, in at one spot, and it causes a big reservoir, a big pocket of blood. Okay, and then that pocket of blood starts to move whichever way the blood's flowing. So the blood's flowing this way. So it starts, this right here, you can see my scar where I had the surgery done. And right here, you see, here's a scar. They did it right here, and you can see how it's starting to grow up here. And now it's grown all the way up through here, you see, because you can see the dents right here where there's little bumps where the artery has swollen up here. So let's say this is your artery right here. After you have that fistula done, now this is probably your artery like that. So you see, it gives you plenty of room to be able to put the needle in without infiltrating yourself and stuff like that. And it gives you better blood flow in that spot for it to pull out and to push through.
Yeah, because if you just stuck yourself with the needle into a vein, it wouldn't have, it goes...
It would blow the vein out.
Yeah.
Because the needle will be basically just a little bit smaller than the actual vein if you got a good sized vein. Like I lift weights, or I used to, so I had, they told me I had some really big veins, like an athlete veins. So, but they've got veins that are so tiny that you couldn't even stick, I don't know, like a coffee straw through or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like an IV through.
Like show them the needles that you gotta stick with, and then I'll show you a needle that is a normal size needle. And there's the normal size.
This is the needle that goes in my arm. I got 2 of them every time I get stuck with it. It's the biggest needle they make. It's a 14 gauge.
Stay still for a second.
They don't make anything bigger than that. Thickness wise, anyway. I'm sure they make longer ones, but they're thickness wise, that's as big as the needle gets. So, really, I mean, looking at like this way, and that's a pretty big needle. And to be in your arm for 4 hours, that's like getting stabbed by, you know, a little metal rod or something.
It's hard to see it. Yeah, stay still. But show it against the show them against the regular needle though.
And you go to this, you know, you go to the doctor and they take your labs or you get a shot, you know, tetanus shot or something. Get a needle like that.
But you gotta show them side by side because it's hard to tell. So, yeah, you can definitely see the difference. This needle that he gets stuck with every day is like the size of a coffee straw. That little one is what you go and do labs with. So, it's a huge difference. It really hurts. Even though we've made tracks, it still hurts going in.
Well, you're only supposed to be able to feel the pressure, but for some reason I got a retarded nerve there on the top one. That hurts every time I get stuck. It's always been there, no matter where I go in this part of the arm. It's just a cluster of nerves or something. I don't know, but it's not supposed to be that way. But I guess my luck of the straw, you know. So. But the good thing is, I mean, at least it keeps me here with my family, and you know. Keeps me alive. The dialysis part isn't really that bad.
Like, you know, sitting here for 4 hours,
yeah,
letting it
it's not really that bad. I mean, at first it is because you have to train your body. When I first started dialysis, I was still peeing, and to be on this machine for 4 hours and you have to pee, you have to hold it. That was hard. I mean, I was sweating bullets, man.
You were on it for 6 hours when we first started.
Yeah,
though.
6 hours.
That's why.
And it was hard. It was really hard. And but after about 2 years of dialyzing, you know, my kidneys started getting worse. And then finally, it got to the point where they're completely dead. Now they're completely dead. And so I don't pee anymore. So it isn't that bad now. It's just the way you feel after dialyzing. Sometimes if you're having a rough treatment, you feel it's about half the time for me. You really start feeling it towards the end of the treatment. By the time you're getting your needles pulled out, your head's all pulled over and you're just wore out. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you just feel like you just got hit by a Mack truck or something, or you just worked a 20-hour shift or something, and you're just, you know, just wore out. And then some days you're feeling better when you get off of dialysis than you were before you get on. And then some days you feel just the same as you did. You know, when you take the needles out, you got to hold them for about 10 minutes, you know, because or else you'll bleed out. And after you hold them, you just go about your day like you were before, because nothing really changed. So, I mean, it all really depends. I don't know if maybe, you know, for a dialysis patient, it's hard to tell if you gained a pound or you lost a pound when it comes to actually weight gain, not fluid gain, because you always have fluid on, so you can't really tell what your dry weight is every single day. So you kind of just try to go about a random base weight. You try to max out like you do in weightlifting. You try to max out at least once a month to try to find out where your dry weight is. Did you gain actually 5 pounds, or did you lose 5 pounds of fat or something? You know, And because you don't really know that, sometimes you take off a little bit more fluid than what you should. And I think that's probably why your feeling's really bad, is because now you're dehydrated, you know. So, and if you really pull off too much fluid, boy, you suffer from it after you get off, because you start cramping, and no matter what, you're cramping your legs. You lay down, all of a sudden your thighs and the back of your thighs start cramping. Your hands cramp up like this, and your arm. I mean, it's bad. There's been times that my entire body has cramped, even my jaw. My eyebrows was cramping, my face, my jaw. I mean, I could not do anything. I was in tears because my whole body was cramping at one time because I had took too much fluid off. So, I mean, it's definitely something you got to learn by experience and stuff. But if I can tell now when I dialyze that if I'm getting, if I'm taking too much fluid off because by the way that I feel.
Yeah, after 5 years of doing it.
Yeah, I'll drop the fluid, or sometimes if I catch it too late, I'll just stop the whole treatment altogether, you know, and go ahead and get off and just have her put extra saline in my body, and then I'll go lay down for a couple hours and then get up and get something to eat. And sometimes I feel a little better. But salt is what you want when that happens. Like if you have pickles, you know, Mount Olive pickles or something, that's good. Chicken noodle soup or ramen, that's good. Anything that's really salty, you know, that retains the water is good for you. Mustard, right out the jar, is good for you. When it comes to trying to get your fluid back really quick.
Yeah.
You know, so I ain't gonna get really quick, like in 30 minutes. It's gonna take hours, but if you didn't do that stuff, it would probably take days.
Yeah. And we gotta fill out the sheet every time we dialyze too, because this tells you, like, basically the time he's on and his blood pressure and his all his vital signs, his pulse, his temp.
It's a tracking sheet.
You gotta track everything. So every time, every 30 minutes, we gotta take down. So it's a lot of work to dialyze. And
plus, if you do it yourself at home, you do it at the clinic.
They do all that for you. They do all that. The nurses will, but.
But you have to do it on their time, not yours. You do it at home, you can do it on your time. So, you know, let's say that today is Thursday or Wednesday or whatever, and your spouse is off today, and you're supposed to dialyze today, you could just take the day off and spend time with your spouse or your family, go out and have fun, and then you can get on the machine this evening after your day's all over around 7 or 8 o'clock, and you can dialyze this evening, you know, while she's sitting down reading a book, or he's reading a book, or he's out in the shop working, and, you know, they got their time. You can take your time and dialyze. You have that freedom.
What you got, Jonathan?
Watching Lego Marvel superheroes movies.
Yeah. See, a lot of times, like, when Daddy's dialyzing, they'll come in here and play video games together, watch movies together, right, Jonathan? So the whole dialysis time isn't.
Yeah, man, I got a cool
wasted.
setup. I got my TV hanging up on the wall right there.
I got my mom.
I got my PS4 over there.
I got my sweet mom.
Aw. You're a sweetheart.
I got Hulu and Netflix on there. I got plenty of video games. I got cable TV. So, I mean, I'm good. Yeah, I got stuff I can do. Occupy my time.
Yeah.
You got about 2 more minutes, and then I'll start picking.
Today we gotta draw labs, so I gotta set up all my lab stuff. So we'll be back, guys. Alright, he's picking now. And I'll show you like what he picks with. Just the regular needle. The cap of it has like a picker on it, that little thing on the end of it. And so it's just the cap. Then there's two.
Yeah, I get it good. Your buttonholes are only as good as you take care of them. Now, here's the thing. She's wearing gloves. But I don't like it when she wears gloves. I like it when she washes her hands and then puts sanitizer on her hands. Because when she wants, those gloves suck. And I just don't want
the tape sticks to them and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try. What you doing, Jonathan? Alright, no distractions. Jonathan, what is that? Jonathan. Where's the phone? Where's your phone? Hey, I'm not distracting. Where is your phone?
in my pocket.
No distractions, don't put that in the outfit. Alright, go ahead.
Alright, I'm ready.
Turn your phone off? Is the alarm going off?
Yeah, it's reminding me of my oil change appointment tomorrow. Oil change at 7:30 in the morning.
So I'm just gonna, I wash my hands really good and I'll do sanitizer too.
Huh?
Wash my hands really good and I'll do sanitizer too. So, you gotta do that. Your phone. So I'm gonna draw labs today.
I already did my standing, my sitting, so which is where you stand up and you do your blood pressure and you sit down and do your blood pressure. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to get it wet. Tell them why you do it.
Let's get it wet so it doesn't hurt so bad. And then pull this back. Wiggle it and let go right in. And today, since I'm doing labs, I'm not gonna flush the line right away because I gotta draw the labs. So, I'll do a butterfly tape, make sure it's secure. Clamp it off. Labs.
come back in here in a minute.
But the Minecraft thingy is not working. It's not letting me play.
Well, I can't help you right now. I'm doing dialysis, remember?
Just wait a minute. Be patient. Okay?
Alright. So what's up? And these guys spin them for me so I can get them into that machine. These ones just sit in there. Chill. And then I'll draw the demo at the end because they want to see the before live, what it looks like before, and then they'll need to see what it looks like after. And then I
Wait, you gotta do purples, right?
already did.
Huh.
And then I flex the line with saline so this blood doesn't clot.
That comes the painful one. Remember I was telling you that you got a cluster of nerves? Yeah.
Yeah, you said it might be. Oh, wait, I got one right here.
Get it where?
Yeah. And the top one doesn't like me because the cluster nerves just, for some reason, does not want to go through. Sometimes I have to try a couple of times, but Lord Jesus, we're asking you just to help us go through smoothly. Alright. Thank you, Jesus. Usually I have to try a couple of times, but it still hurts. Okay, push this one.
So you can go ahead and flush this one because she already took her labs. So.
Yep, I already took my lab, so I don't have to. Yeah. I don't have to take valves from that one. I took all the valves from the bottom. It's just saline, flushing the line.
Which is salt water. Saline is salt water.
Everything's feeling okay, so take this off. Put this up. Get the lines out the way. Okay. Now I gotta put these in the refrigerator because they have to stay cold.
You know,
One stays out. Don't hold that. And then I gotta spin this one. This one has to be spun. So put it in this machine. I have to always alternate it with something that has water in it. So I'll make sure I put one on one side so it equals out. And then one on the other side so I got they're diagonal to each other. So that way we make sure they spin correctly. Make sure everything's down in there good. Close this machine up and start. Spins. Hit open instead of start. Hit start. And it spins for about 10 minutes. Sometimes this machine is off balance and goes crazy, but I think it's doing good. It's going to be loud, but I think it's doing good. Yeah, it's doing good.
yeah, by the way, if you're watching this video and you're fixing to start dialysis and you really don't really know what to expect. Wear old clothes. Find your, like this clothes, it's all stained up and got holes in it and collar is all frayed and stuff. And because that stuff that I soak with, it does bleach your clothes because it runs down your arm. And you always get blood on you somewhere, sometimes. Always.
Yeah.
So you don't want to ruin your good clothes.
So the next we're gonna actually attach the lines. So we're gonna go from the machine right here. We're gonna get the lines and actually put them on him. So that way the machine can start working. I just clamp it off and hit stop. Clamp it off so all the saline doesn't start spilling out of the machine, and then unattach the hoses and then just attach them to him. The blue one goes in the top.
The blue one puts the blood back in me. The red one pulls the blood out. So the red one is called arterial, and the blue one is called the Venus, like Venus, the planet in our solar system. Venus.
Attach the blue to the top. Make the lines. I always like to have surgical scissors so it keeps stuff in place. It's out of my way.
Surgical plant.
Surgical plant, sorry. And then attach the bottom one. Readjust this. I always like to attach it high up so it stays out of the way of this. It's out of the way. So then I come over here and I just hit start after everything's unclamped.
And it pulls the blood out.
So it starts pulling. Yep.
And it's going there now.
And it's starting to go in here. You'll see it. See it's going through the machine. Hello. Now it's going through the dialyzer.
How was the movie? You like it?
I love it.
Hello.
It's awesome.
We're videoing how we dialyze. We're doing our first video. How we dialyze, step by step.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't know you were doing a video.
Okay.
You're not recording at this moment, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
It's okay, Jonathan's been in and out the whole time too. And then see, now you see it, it just went through the other line. And then he'll dialyze. I gotta start it. I turn it up, but he'll dialyze for 4 hours.
There's nothing in it.
I'm gonna pump it up to 400 after everything's going through good. And then I just start the timer. And then I have to put the heparin on.
1.0 on this. On that.
So that way his blood doesn't clot. So this is the heparin right here. And now we're good. Everything's flowing. See, everything's flowing through the dialyzer. And we're good. So he'll sit there for 4 hours. Alright, and we're almost done with our labs. That'll be done in another 6 minutes. And then I'll just do labs after. So that's it, guys. Bye.
We'll see you at the end.
So this dang machine started going crazy. We had to take off real quick. We're doing the taking off process. Basically, take that off. Gotta put all these lines back. It's rinsing. Huh?
Need something on that.
And then I gotta take the needles out of his arm. That's it. So we gotta do acid clean. I just take the needles out, and then we're good to go. And then we gotta acid clean the machine, and then heat disinfect this machine. That's it.